evening, everyone. You're listening to the Voices of Change only on Intellectual Radio. And how's everybody this evening?
Marvelous.
My name is Jan, and I'll be the host this evening.
Chair because somebody don't want to sit in their chair. I'm the co-host. I'm
You
gonna
know
talk
what?
about you tonight.
Wait,
I'm gonna get you.
wait.
We gonna start this thing all right in 2020.
He's like,
We gonna get it to him right.
this is the first show of the new year.
It certainly is.
And we are going to talk about something kind of related to the new year. Typically, we talk about resolutions and how many times have we made them? How many times have I made it? And how many times have you made it? Anyway, so today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. As soon as we get through all this news and all of it's not good,
this news.
it's so much news. As soon as we get through that, we're going to talk about vision boards.
Mhm.
So I want everyone, you guys gotta stay here and share. We're also, I also invited a friend of ours who was here last week.
Mhm.
So we're going to probably have a show on that. We're going to talk about the impact of the legalization of weed in our urban community for people of color, because there are implications that sometimes you don't think about. Not that I'm advocating you continue going to Billy Bob to purchase or the man on the street to purchase,
But you know that's what's gonna happen.
but well, not only the economic impact, the cost, but there's other implications too that we may talk some about it today, but we're gonna have a little show on it and have some guests here that can give some real input. So we look forward to that. I need to shout out to our partners. Our partners being, this is January 5th. Got about 3 more weeks before tax season start. Great Tax Service, and also GV Entertainment and Oda Enterprises out of Indianapolis. Now, I always start out with a scripture. So for today, because of our topic, I'm going to read from the book of Habakkuk, and I have never read anything from this. Habakkuk 2:2, and it says, "And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, so he may have attraction." And we're going to bring all that together. But before that, we got news you can use, and Elliot looks
Ooh.
like he want to say something. So Elliot, go ahead.
This here news, I don't know if you can use it, but you sure
It's
gonna hit the day.
it's just
Mercy.
story after
Oh.
Well, so we're going to be right back as after a quick break with the news you can use. Don't go anywhere. You want to hear all these stories.
You'll
and,
want to hear 'em.
You want to
need
hear it. All of us are going to talk about it. So we'll be right back on Voices of Change.
Once there was a boy and girl. Boy said, I love you so. Girl said, I'll never leave you. They grew older and left each other, 'cause that's the way love goes. That's the way love goes. Then there's a time, seems like you'll never find someone willing to love you. Keep on looking, you soon discover admire will sometimes make you weep and moan. Admire, you sit all day by the telephone, 'cause you're all alone.
For those just tuning in, you're listening to the Voices of Change with Elliot, Jan, and Miss Shimmy.
Shimmy, Cocoa Pop. You know, that
Wait,
ain't-
Shimmy's really living up to her name now. She got a little flair with that.
Well,
name.
I'm
know-
telling you.
you know she,
Got
you
a
know
little
she
hat
got
going
it,
on and her hair going
You
on.
know, thank you.
Oh,
That's all you need to do.
okay, thank you. So this particular segment is the news you can use, and we had to make it light before it gets heavy. So we're going to start off with, as they call him, E. Roland.
And as a disclaimer, I'm going to say this name wrong, so I'll probably like draw blanks. That means Janice is going to say the name when I get to it, because she knows who it is, or she knows how to say it better than me. All right, so much of the U.S. is on pins and needles following a Trump-ordered airstrike that killed a top Iranian military leader, escalating already heightened tensions in the Middle East and sparking fears of an all-out war. General
Qasem Soleimani.
head of Iran's elite Quds force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, a group designated a terrorist in the United States, was targeted in a drone strike shortly after he landed at the international airport in neighboring Iraq's capital of Baghdad early Friday. These were reported by multiple outlets. At least six others were also killed in the airport strike, including Deputy Commander Abu Mahdi al Mahdi. I know I'm messing that up. Leader of the Iran-backed Popular Mobilization Forces militaries in Iraq. President Donald Trump greenlit the early morning attack, a move both national and world leaders have declared as short-sighted and hugely consequential. Tweeting Friday from his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida, Trump defended the act and said, Salami, I said that wrong. I know I did. Soleimani, there we go. Should have been taken out many years ago. Now, what
I
kind
heard
of
he
stuff?
did that. I was like, oh my God.
You know,
What kind of stuff?
not only is he doing an unprecedented strike like that without even, contacting the people that you would normally contact or whatever, but now he's taunting them with the tweets.
Mhm.
So they were saying, okay, so we're going to strike too. So he comes back and he goes, you know what? We got 52 targets already set up. So if you do, and what is this? What is this sounding like? You remember last week we talked about he had a strike last week before this one.
Yeah.
And now, oh my gosh.
And a lot of people have posted on social media where when Obama was in office, he said, oh, yeah, he's going to take us in the war. He's going to do this and do that. Everything
That's
you
right.
said he did, you just got up and did. Everything.
But there was a meme on there. Did I say it right? Meme?
Meme.
There was a meme on Facebook and it said, to Iran, we are black people. We do not support this.
Right.
Then it had a map and it said, this is where Donald Trump lives. White House.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. A lot of those.
And I was like, oh my God.
Or Mar-a-Lago.
Oh my God.
My favorite one. My name is Bennett and we ain't.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. And I feel so bad because I just helped one of my little nephews do his FAFSA.
Mhm.
And what they asked was about selective service. And I didn't know they still did that.
Yeah,
did
they
you?
do. Yeah.
Selective service?
On the FAFSA, yes.
Like when you
Oh.
get 18 or whatever age a young man is, they
Mhm.
gotta I don't know, sign up or whatever they do.
Mhm.
Huh.
So they ask you because you can't get financial aid unless you do.
Right.
And I'm thinking about
that's
I'm
terrible.
thinking about all these young men that have signed up that are in active duty or that are in the National Guard or whatever. Now he's deploying all these troops over there. Now they're in harm's way. We got to really stay on our knees for these guys.
Some of them have had just come home or were at home or were trying to get back home for the holidays. And
now they got to go back.
I've heard stories. These men are crying and
I
upset.
would too.
Of course they are.
Because you're selfish. It's just, and you're not out there on the line. They're on the line.
Right.
And there was
sitting
another
in
one.
Mar-a-Lago.
And there was another one saying that when we see all the servicemen, we hope to see a whole lot of those Joker with red hats saying "Make America Great."
Thank you.
Those
very
need to be the
much.
ones
Thank
over
you
there.
very
Anyway,
much.
oh
Put them first. Because we didn't ask
A
for
whole
this.
sea of red hats.
It's just wow. Our allies are not happy after President Donald Trump's decision to authorize the assassination of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in the airstrike heard around the world late Thursday. U.S. allies are warning against any further escalation of the conflict with Iran. It turns out that not only did Trump order the airstrike without congressional approval, but it was reportedly launched without consulting U.S. allies. And now several of those are understandably unhappy. I mean, think about what it's going to affect. Oil prices. They don't want to get into this.
Not at all. They're like, now you want me to come fight with you? I think not. You did it on your own.
Exactly.
And he literally did do it on his own.
And he woke up tweeting the American flag right before it happened.
I wish you would.
And someone said, I can't think of which person said it, but they said, and I hope this isn't true, they said that he did it as a diversion from his pending impeachment.
Yeah, I would.
You've been hearing that too, right?
I wouldn't be surprised because we cannot impeach him if we're in the middle of a war.
Yeah, but wars aren't like they used to be, where it's boots on the ground.
Right.
They can escalate to anything now.
Mm-hmm.
They can escalate to people dropping bombs. I mean,
on cities.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like,
you putting your America in harm's way for what? Your ego. Oh, okay. Was this man? I just don't understand. You already pulled out against Iran before, correct?
Well, he claims that there was something that he was planning that was really big. But, everybody has questions about that because you remember when Bush was in office and they lied and had Colin Powell sit up there, and that's why I believed it. And that's how they justified that war. That was based on a lie. So I'm not really believing much that they're even saying. Even with this alleged thing about he had this big thing planned against us, some kind of terrorist act. I don't know. What is it then? Identify it.
Mm.
Tell us what the plans are. Where are the plans?
Just being.
You
His wife
still
needs to
have
be
to go through anyway.
It is reported that an $80 million bounty has been placed on Donald Trump's head in the wake of the general's assassination. During the televised funeral of the top Iranian official state broadcasters, one of the U.S. would be tabled for every Iranian in the country, with the cash going to whoever killed the U.S. president.
Can you imagine an
Hello.
$80 million
Bounty on
bounty
your
on his
head.
head?
So now this brings me back to what I said to y'all last week. Y'all remember The Simpsons, right?
Oh, here we go.
Come on.
And,
You
and
know
that
what?
Simpson,
Somebody posted that on
I'm
Facebook.
telling you, they
They
said don't give
did?
up. The Simpsons have not let us wrong yet.
Somebody said that on Facebook. Like,
Really?
hopefully the
I
Simpsons
told you,
come
it was a
come
whole
through.
episode where Trump became the president of the United States,
And then he got
and he
killed.
got killed, and we saw the funeral on The Simpsons.
$80
Now,
million bounty?
I am not wishing bad upon anybody, not
No.
even Trump.
No.
But I would not be surprised if The Simpsons
$80
have been
million
right so far.
bounty?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Somebody-
Somebody wants some money.
Somebody trying to get paid.
I'm telling you.
$80 million?
It won't be no JFK kind of sad, but
Right.
they gon'
They might be dancing in the streets.
Well, you know what? The country now is so divided anyway. Those pro-Trump, those against Trump.
This thing has broken up
this thing
families
has-
and marriages and everything.
yeah.
And it's really something. It is really something. A Michigan woman has escaped ethnic intimidation charges after physically attacking a black car salesman and using a racial slur. Shelley Huckle, 47, was acquitted of the 2-year felony but found guilty of misdemeanor assault and battery against salesman Terrence Smith early last year. She was convicted during a December 30th bench trial. The attack unfolded April 24th when Huckle attempted to trade in her car at Benton Baker GMC in Lowell, about an hour outside Lansing. Angered over what she was offered, the defendant struck Smith so hard that she knocked his glasses off his face. Huckle is also accused of using the N-word multiple times. The case was tried by Kent County Circuit Judge Paul Sullivan, who ruled there was reasonable doubt about Huckle, 47, and acted maliciously with intent to intimidate the used car salesman, saying the assault was sparked by the low trade-in offer rather than Smith's race. According to Smith, the woman became upset and demanded that he get his scamming black aide back inside and get my title when he offered her $3,500 for her 2005 Ford F-150 pickup truck. I want you to stop. Huckle claimed she'd been offered $5,500
Yeah, right.
at another dealership, while her husband said they could probably get about $5,100 at another. Smith said Huckle only became angrier and he tried to defuse the situation by walking away. The enraged woman followed him in his office, however, and backhanded him while repeating the racial slur. A fellow salesperson who witnessed the incident told authorities that the customer was arguing with Mr. Smith, handed the car title to her, and she just started swinging on him. Mr. Smith backed away from her and went outside. Now,
I don't even know how he let that slide. Because how could it not be racially motivated? If she claimed she got $5,500 from another dealer, right? So if that's the case, if he came in short, then you just leave and go to the person that offered you $5,500 because she lied. But she gonna slap a man and knock his glasses off and call him nigger several times.
Come on now.
But this isn't the only one. There was a petition that went out late last night. One of my cousins sent it to me, and the petition was about a hotel in New York. You
Mhm.
may have seen it or you may have heard about it. Anyway, when you come in the hotel, if you lose a key, you got to have ID. If not, they can't give you a key card to get in your
Right.
room.
Right.
So this Caucasian lady came in there and she was inebriated, really, really sloppy drunk. She wanted a key. She didn't have her ID.
Mhm.
So the black clerk told her, I'm sorry, but you know, it's our protocol that we can't give you a card. We just can't let anybody in your room for your protection. She went off, called the girl all kind of N words, all kind of B's, all kind of W's, all kind of everything. She got arrested. They called the police, which was the right thing to do. She got arrested, went in jail, got out of jail. The hotel gave her a free room.
Well, maybe I need to go somewhere and act the fool and give me a free
Oh
room.
my gosh.
It ain't gonna
Maybe
work like
maybe
that
that'll
for
work for
you.
me.
The black girl was so ticked off that she quit.
Of course.
I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't imagine being there waiting on somebody, them going off calling me the N word. Because you know what I would do?
You're a cutter and a fighter.
Oh
We know
no, no,
this.
no, no, no. If I'm at work,
If you're at work, you're gonna
if
be.
if I'm at work, I would say, "Excuse me, next person, please." I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with it on any level. If anybody here wants to deal with it, fine. I'm not waiting on her. She could stand there and stay in the
But
lobby all night.
it's all about business at the end of the day.
Right. That's
Which,
why I
which
wouldn't
is why
cut her, because normally you right.
I
Cut her.
know. That's what I know.
You're right.
That's what I know.
You're right. You're right. But at work, I'm not gonna ever do that. You got to use brains first.
You
So
should.
you should. Yeah. No, I'm not. No, she's not gonna get to me because when you look at them, she's sloppy drunk and probably look like whatever, and she's
Mhm.
calling me something derogatory. Really? Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. Illinois population shrunk by more than any other state from 2010 to 2019, according to data released Monday by the U.S. Census. Since the beginning of the decade, Illinois has lost 159,751 residents, which equals 1.2% of its population. Only one other state, West Virginia, had a higher percentage of population loss at 3.3%. In 2019, Illinois population shrunk by more than 51,000 residents, the largest drop out of any state from 2018 to 2019. Why are we losing people in Illinois? I thought Chicago was losing,
And just in general, like,
but not
and I'm sure
Illinois.
a good chunk of them is probably from. Even you talk about Illinois, the first
Yeah,
four people said
Chicago.
Chicago, so a good chunk of people because I know a lot of my friends have moved in the last 4 to 5 years.
Really, from Illinois going somewhere else?
Yeah, especially from Chicago. Yeah, because it's cheaper. I know somebody who just moved to Texas maybe like in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, the cost of living is better, you
yeah.
know, and
Well, that is
and
true.
some people are
That is true.
older and they just want to be in a warmer climate. I know when we had this polar vortex, how many years ago was that? 4 years ago now?
About 4.
I somebody from my church specifically put on Facebook after that was over. She was like, "I'm done and we're moving," and
Yeah,
not
that was a bad.
before the end
That
of
was
the year,
bad.
they were in another state
I get
and
it.
ain't came back. Well, no, they have come back, but I'm saying like they moved and that was it. Like that, the last major snow we had that like almost shut us down, that stopped people. Like they were like, "I'm out, I'm gone." That think about Chicago specifically. Think about our weather.
Yeah, but the weather pattern is changing all over the place.
It is,
Those hot places
Global
are getting
warming, though.
flooding and getting. I mean, but I do get that because I
but
remember that.
consider like if you've been here for like 40 years of your life and you've
You
dealt with the
tired.
snow, you get tired of that. You have that. So consider the weather changes. Consider the how violence is rising for senseless stuff
Exactly.
here. You have people saying, "I don't even want to have children here because I don't want to raise
That's
them
true.
in this environment." And
That is
I
true.
know a couple that moved. Part of their reason was because okay, we're gonna have a child or another child, and we're gonna be in another state with that child. Like this child is not gonna even see Chicago.
And I also get it
Mm.
because of economically.
Mhm.
When you have a job paying X amount, and if you want a nice apartment, a nice place to live, you know what you're going to be paying, even with a 1 bedroom.
Right, you're gonna end
So
up
if
having
you
one or two
need
jobs.
multiple bedrooms, if you need 2 or 3 bedrooms, you may be paying $1,500 and up.
Yep.
And that's just for your rent, and if you're even buying. So yeah, I do get it. I
Yeah.
do get it.
Yeah.
Leon Spinks, 66, was diagnosed in May and on New Year's Eve discharged from a Las Vegas hospital. Who said, according to Brenda Spinks, who said the boxer he will resume cancer treatment on outpatient basis, which he will It's sad to see that he is.
I see. I thought when he had it before, he was kind of okay. Not okay, but in
Yeah,
remission.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then
But
they
now he
said it
was
came
back
back
in.
New Year's, and now they had a picture of him. He looked, Sometimes when people go through treatments, different people react different.
Yeah,
Their bodies.
exactly.
So
And he looked, sad, but
yeah, it's.
Yeah, everybody goes
I
through
wish
this.
they'd find a cure to that.
they do
You
have
can
a
take
cure,
this one. That's
man. They
all.
just not giving it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're not giving a cure because the system here in the United States is rigged.
Big pharma.
Doctors don't get paid to keep people healthy; they get paid to keep them sick.
And
Like
every
if you're not sick, you
medication,
can't get in here. So
Right.
they making us sick.
and every medication has a side effect that you got to take another medication for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So where you may
They
be
can get
sick with
paid.
one thing, they may require one pill because that one pill has a side effect. You got two other pills to take because of the one side effect.
So now you're taking 3 pills already for one thing.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
don't get anything else. So you could easily be down in 7 or 8 pills a day
Right.
or more.
if
Yeah.
you go
Just
to
to
other
keep-
countries,
And
how
that
many?
your
that
mind right.
still has a negative impact on your body and
Because
on your,
it's really eating you up.
Yeah.
That's what
How
it's
many
doing.
people are really sick in these other countries like we are? Or it's too many people, so they got to kill you off.
Right.
Okay.
Let's be
Here we
It's
go.
true. Why you think they making mini clinics? Something coming up, okay?
I'm telling you, like we was all
Mini
excited.
clinics means I'm just saying I don't know if it's a war coming, God forbid, anything, but
Something
they
is
making
coming.
these clinics because you won't have time. It won't be room at the hospitals for you to get seen.
You know what? You have a good point. And
You're
they're
saying
they're
something.
putting them strategically everywhere.
Yes.
And certain people, I won't even identify who, but certain people are planners. They plan. We're not planners. That's one reason why is when you talk about the next story,
Mm-hmm.
why there's no black ones. Because
Because
they've
they
been
sure
talking
wouldn't let us
about
buy none.
yeah, but
ain't
they were
gonna let
talking
us-
about legalizing this for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the application was what, 400 pages. And it only costs like $5,000.
You gotta have $5,000. You gotta take a class. You gotta do
But
all
what
this
I'm
stuff.
saying, you got to be a planner. These certain people plan years in
Oh, yeah.
advance.
Oh yeah.
We have to really start planning more. Anyway, go on.
So
Here we go.
are we ready for this here?
Yeah.
Chicago, Illinois, first day of legal recreational marijuana generated nearly $3.2 million in sales. There were 77,128 transactions on New Year's Day when the law legalizing marijuana for recreational purposes took effect. Dispensaries reported long lines the first day, and we've seen these lines. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Those lines actually show there's an incredible opportunity to grow this industry. Hutchinson told the reporters on Thursday in Chicago, there's new room for new people to come in. What kind of new people? Don't try it. By comparison, neighboring Michigan, which made recreational marijuana legal starting December 1st, generated 3.1 million in the first 2 weeks.
The first 2 weeks now.
The first 2
3.1.
weeks.
We got
Versus
3.2
the first day. Come on, man.
And this Michigan, Detroit.
First day sales in Colorado, the first state to legalize marijuana for adult recreational use, were over 1 million on January 1st, 2014. So now that brings me to this question: are we legalizing it only for adults?
Yeah, you got to be
Because they
21.
mentioned specifically.
Yeah, you have to be
I just
21
want to know
years old.
because
Yep.
I haven't
Yep.
like watched, but yeah. So now here we are, the first day, 3.1,
2 million.
3.2 million on the first day.
3.2 million in cash money because they don't take debit card or credit card.
And so, and
That's
mind
crazy.
you, if you've been on Facebook, y'all probably seen it. I saw a bill. Somebody
I saw
put
a bill.
up there for $300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
the
most of that was
taxes.
the taxes on the
Yeah.
You
stuff.
might as well see your neighborhood man
Hello.
outside.
So
Come
the
on, pull up on
your
me.
neighborhood weed man is not going out of business no time too soon. Let's be real.
No, but you know what? When he gets caught now, he's going to be prosecuted more because what they want to do is control. They really want to control distribution of it. There's another problem with it because everyone who I talk to
But
that have
who-
smoked marijuana say it is an addictive, right? That's what they say, right?
Yes.
They don't have to do it, right?
That's what they
That's
say.
what everybody say. So
But if you don't have to, why would you?
if it's not addictive, why do you have to do it? Do you know they're scanning the back of your state ID, driver's
Yes.
license?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they don't directly deliver it to if you work for City of Chicago, if you work for state or whatever. They don't deliver it to them, but they can get a data dump of it. And the information is out there; it can be accessed.
It can.
Do you know at the City of Chicago, you cannot marijuana, weed, whatever is still a drug. They look at it as a drug.
Yes.
If it's in your system and they can random test you, you can be let go. This
Immediately.
this is not good. The state of Illinois is tied to everything. There's
Everything.
another person here at Intellectual Radio. I can mention her name, Cheryl, because people have probably heard her.
Hmm.
She really went in detail on this, and she had some excellent points.
Yeah.
I was against it from the onset. I was
Yes.
against legalization of it from the onset, not just because of my feelings toward marijuana and it being a possible gateway drug, but also because it impacts me. If someone smokes marijuana and I could smell it now, it's impacting me. If you drink, I can't. It doesn't impact me. It impacts me if you're drunk and you're driving or you do something.
Right.
But even if you're in a condo and someone next door is smoking, that's
You,
coming over
it's
in my
coming in.
place all the
And you
whole
gonna get a
night.
contact out depending on how much
It
it
ticks
is.
me off.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
but anyway.
I get it. Less personal, but I get
We are going to talk about that in detail in a couple of weeks as soon as we get some folks on here who's open and willing to talk about it and talk about the transaction part of it, talk about the economic aspect, and I want to talk about how it's impacting our people of color.
I want to
more
know.
than it probably has
I
been
just want to
before.
know who's supplying it. So, are these places, are the dispensaries able to grow their own, or are
Mm.
they provided with it? Like, oh, this is what you can sell.
They have
Because if that's
vendors.
the
More than
case,
They
likely.
have vendors and they have farms. Because a girlfriend of mine out of California, she was there when they were first starting to do it years ago. She was involved with this farm that grew it. They have a
Wow.
farm. They have standards supposedly. So that's why they say that when you buy it off the street, you don't know what you're getting. It could be laced.
You
When you're
don't.
buying it from a dispensary, supposedly it's
You don't know
clean.
what you're getting over there
You don't
either.
know anyway.
exactly,
I can
it's
It's
almost.
clean.
control. The city gonna control it. It's gonna kill you too.
I'm about to say I can almost promise you. Give us about another year or two or three. It's gonna be stuff coming out.
It's
You
all
think
about
people are passing away from
it's
cancer
all
now because of
about
what
the
we eat?
tax revenue. They actually, in my opinion, I said it last year, 2 years ago, they legalized it because they needed revenue. This was a way to get revenue.
All I'm going to tell you, if you think we are passing away from like ailments or like cancer and things now, just wait.
Well,
It's going to be
I've,
something. It's
I
going to be something because everything has a side effect to it at some point or another.
right.
I don't trust it. Just because you make it legal don't mean it's right.
Well, we don't do it.
We don't.
So anyway, I'm gonna leave it right there. Oh, how do you say this name? I know you probably know her. Lexi.
Mm-mm.
You know her?
No, I
I
don't know
never
her.
heard of her.
Ooh,
Up and
oh,
coming rapper Lexi Elijah has died at the age of 21. A cause of death has not been released for the Minnesota native born Alexis Elijah Lynch, though the outlet notes that she had no known illnesses and everything seemed normal. Elijah, who released her first full-length album, Growing Pains, in 2017, was close with R&B artist Kalani and was featured on her 2015 single Jealous, which Elijah co-wrote. The song appeared on Kalani's Grammy-nominated mixtape album, You Should Be Here. Elijah frequently performed in her home state and was the daughter of Roger Troutman Jr., who recorded music with Capitol Records in the late 1980s, and the granddaughter of Roger Troutman, who founded the funk band Zap. 21 years old, gone. Every week we're reporting about 20-year-old, 19-year-old. Now you're going to talk about somebody else? No, he was 30. Go ahead.
close enough.
Jeez.
The ex-fiance of the late Bobby Christina Brown reportedly died of a suspected overdose on New Year's Day in Florida. Nick Gordon, who was 30, suffered a series of heart attacks after an electric drug dose and later died at the hospital. His brother Junior Walker mourned his death in a Facebook post, writing, God, why did I have to lose my brother on New Year's? All I can do is cry. In January 2015, Bobby Christina Brown, 22, was found unconscious in the bathtub of her Georgia home after a suspected overdose. Gordon was in the home at the time. Brown is the daughter of Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. Houston drowned in a bathtub February 2012. The man who discovered Brown in the bathtub was friend Max Lomas. He died of a fentanyl overdose in August 2018. So everyone around her
I know.
pretty much overdosed. And some of these drugs are addictive. Whatever they were doing is just you take it too far sometimes.
I know, and they had a show out a couple years ago. It was called Bobby Christina. Christina, I think it was on OWN or one of those channels, and it was about her life.
Hmm.
And it kind of highlighted some of her friends. So one of her girlfriends is already overdosed, and the little white dude who was, they say, was a pusher friend, whatever. He died a couple years ago. Now she's dead. Gordon is dead. Whitney is dead. They're gone. The only one, well, Bobby's not with that family anymore. I mean, other than being her father,
Exactly.
but he escaped.
Yeah.
They're all gone.
And it's just really sad. It's really sad.
That was, but they say Gordon had issues, and he was, um, from what I understand, he was allegedly a primary cause of Bobby Christina's death.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but we really hate to see someone 30 years old on New Year's Eve doing what he do and having multiple heart attacks and dying at 30. Jeez. Okay.
Well, I think this could be safely. I can be safe in saying this probably should be our last story because we've had quite a few come through here today.
And they're all so depressing to me. Even
I'm gonna make this one our last one.
yeah, because the one about the two babies. Yeah.
I don't think I want to even go that one. So this one is a little rough one. Are you okay, Mom? Shibin Winnell said those were among the final words uttered by her son, Bryce Gowdy, before he left their motel room and stood in front of a freight train. Bryce, who was 17, committed suicide a week before the beach football star was due to start classes in Georgia Tech on a scholarship January the 6th. Bryce, his mom, and his brothers were homeless again. And family members said he wrestled with his emotions while preparing to chase the college dreams as his immediate family struggled on the front lines of poverty. It would be hard to see the depth of Bryce's torment judging by his Instagram account. All you see on his page is the typical highlights from the talented young athlete. Cool poses, trendy looking clothes, and videos showcasing impressive football skills. Depression will be the second largest killer after heart disease in 2020. Preschoolers are the fastest growing market for antidepressants. 80% of depressed people are currently not being treated. This is the face of so many of our youth and adults. Rest easy and fly free.
Khalid contacted me and he said, you need to do a show on depression with our children. At that point, he was talking about, I want to say, two football players from Notre Dame. They were twins. Did you hear about them?
They were there when I was in
You knew
in
them?
South Bend. I'd seen them around,
Okay.
going to school out in Notre Dame, and yeah.
They killed themselves. Both of them
Well,
did.
one did it the year before.
Right, different times.
Different years, but the same time of the year.
That's what Khalid was telling me, and I hadn't heard about him, so he sent me the article, and I'm like, oh my God, these are just promising
they were young
futures.
boys.
Young men.
One played in the NFL. I think both did, but one got out early, and then their mom passed, and she was, sick. So the one twin brother killed himself, and then the next year, the other brother, he had a daughter, the one that just passed. Recently.
We're seeing that so much. I mean, this one had issues, from what I believe, linked to poverty that we're not even identifying.
Right.
I mean, yeah, he has a promising future, like they said. When you look at his social media, he looked like he was on the come up, but deep down inside, he was masking that depression, like so many of us do.
Yes.
It's happening so more and more with young people. This is problematic.
They are more, shall I say, it affects young people more, and some of them are becoming more expressive. Or shall I say less expressive, because when I was in high school, of course, we didn't know everybody's situation. And, kids being kids, you would, your classmates come around and they don't smell particularly well that day.
And they talk about it. Yeah,
and, you know, make jokes and be kids. And,
of course.
Yeah.
you not knowing that they may have slept in their parents' car the
Oh,
night before,
I couldn't get to a shower.
yeah.
and stuff like that. Like
Anything.
I knew somebody who was very close to me. We were out almost every weekend. Didn't think none of it for like months, or probably a year or so. They were homeless. They would have been in their car.
Ugh.
I'm like, now we done been together, done been out to eat and done sung and all this stuff, and would never
And you don't
knew.
even think about that because that's not your narrative. So you don't
Right.
even
You
you
don't
don't
think
even
about
think
that.
about this person is homeless.
Right. You don't think about it. And so, it behooves us, I think, as older people to really, if we have younger people around us, to check in with them and kind of see, hey, you all right? Do you need something? Are you okay? Ask those questions, because just because there's a smile on their face doesn't mean that everything is
Yeah,
okay on the
okay.
inside
And we have
as
to also
well.
tell and teach our young people or people in school about bullying, about taunting, and about making fun of kids.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, because that happens so much, and you don't know how it impacts that kid from their day to day stuff that's making them depressed. This was horrible.
It was. It
And
was.
then when Khalid showed me the one about the two guys from South
Twins.
Bend, and he showed me more and more, I'm like, okay, that's something we gotta do a show on too.
Yes, it's quite
So
real.
that is the news you can use only from the Voices of Change on Intellectual Radio. I'm going to shout out to some of the people that I see are watching. Steve from
Yeah.
California. Hey, Steve. Also, Kendrick Scales. Someone called you Bishop Bell. Who is that?
That is Bishop Kendrick Scales out of Wisconsin. He is so funny.
No, I mean Obalawa.
Oh, that's Obalawa. He's from Florida.
Oh, from Florida. And
Yes.
Makiba. Hey, Makiba.
Hey, Makiba.
Kendrick Scales. Hey.
Like, he's so terrible. That's why I was
Um,
laughing at him earlier.
and also Kathleen Green. We appreciate you watching. I saw where Mary Anderson was on here and a few other people
Yes.
were on here.
My cousin Gary.
Renata Wigfall. Oh, I thought you were out of the country somewhere. You must be in North Kakalaki still. Okay. Maxine out of Hollywood. Hey.
Hey.
Rosemary from work. Hey, I didn't know you were watching. It's always good. Harry Williams. Romaine out of Indy. Good to
Romaine.
see you watching. I see another name. Okay, I think I have just about all of them. And if I don't,
Well, I can go through because
if not,
two of
you
my
can try.
cousins are watching.
Okay.
Gary and Gabby were watching.
Where do
I
okay,
appreciate y'all.
Gary and
Gary
Gabby?
from Arkansas. Gabriella's from here, but she is currently in Baltimore. That's my G.
Baltimore.
You got Zay. He's from here. One of the young people from my church.
Okay.
Watching. So good. Let's see if anybody else that I know. Yeah, that's about it. Of course, we saw Mary.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Hope is watching. Hey, Hope. That's one of my good friends.
Hope.
Hope Gordon. Ooh.
Oh, that's a character from one of my soap operas.
Oh, Father. You got enough drama in your life. Don't be trying to watch nobody else's.
No. This is 2020, no drama, and it's really good to do the soap opera thing because it takes you away from reality and you get to laugh at other people's problems.
This
It's
is
not
true.
real anyway.
Which, by the way, I started watching Saint and Sinners last night. I was up to
Oh
1 o'clock
my
in the morning.
God.
I was the first show. I was like,
What
I
is that?
told you.
Oh
It's kind of
my
scandalous.
God.
I told you.
Daryl Pride just came in. Hey, that's my friend. I got a concert coming up. Daryl is singing in my concert. That's my friend.
He's like a little kid. That's my
Daryl
friend.
he was the only male in the choir for the play.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
Daryl.
remember him. Hey, Daryl. Okay, so we'll be right back with we're going to come right back talking about the game changer, the vision board. We're going to talk about different things, resolutions too, but I want to really focus on the vision board. So we'll be back momentarily on Voices of Change, Intellectual Radio.
Stay right there.
If I gave you my love, I tell you what I do. I'd expect a whole lot of love out of you. You got to treat me good, and I'll be good to you. There's a whole lot of things you and I could do, baby. Beautiful. strong. When you get right down to it, yeah. You're beautiful. I wouldn't change one thing about you. Yeah. Oh, 'cause you're beautiful.
For those just tuning in, that song you heard about You're Beautiful and We Beautiful, She Beautiful, He Beautiful.
We's beautiful.
We's beautiful. That was
You is
by
kind, you is smart, and you is
You is
important,
important.
and you is beautiful.
and You is Beautiful. That was Dante Hall. And he beautiful too.
He is beautiful.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about Game Changer, the vision board. Making a list of all those things that you do when the new year starts. A vision board is the most positive way to kickstart the new year. And we're going to talk about why. We're going to also talk about, because some people like the resolutions. They like to, at the end of the year, list down everything that they're going to do and everything that they're going to change. Do you still do resolutions?
No, I stopped doing that a long time
Oh.
ago. Yeah.
Okay. Do you?
No, I don't do that. No.
I mean, it's good to have.
I used to try to do it, but in my opinion, it set you up for failure.
Yeah,
Because the first time when you don't do it, it's
You
like,
feel
oh well,
so
wait,
mad.
oh well.
I've learned I just work better when I just go.
No, no, most people resolution is to go to the gym, and I can't stand going to the gym at this time of the year because it's like
Everybody and their mom in there. You only
you'll
gonna
be
there for
gone
2
by
months.
March, so come on.
Right.
No,
come
well, the
on.
thing about you even got to wait on machines now. You used to never have to wait on.
Well, yeah, you
I
know,
know.
Even
we
at
done did
Planet
all this.
Fitness, even
We
at
done did
Planet
all
Cheat.
this eating
Oh, I
from
should say.
Thanksgiving to Christmas. So you want
Yeah.
to? I know people said I done gained 80 pounds. All right, so I
Well,
gotta
not-
go and
well,
work it all
80.
out. No,
Hey,
somebody gained 60 to 80 pounds.
Come
they
on.
they posted it.
They
Cause
didn't
we
gain
like
that over a couple months.
look at how much eating and parties you go to in between
Hey, you don't
Thanksgiving,
realize
is a
how
lot of-
much
between
well, whatever.
Thanksgiving and the New
Yeah,
Year. It's
yeah,
a
whatever.
bunch of holiday
Yeah,
parties.
it is.
It's because a lot of bread, a lot of
Cake.
alcohol has sugar in it.
Yeah.
All that.
Even
Yeah.
at work, you got all these cookies and
Yeah.
everything.
Garbage.
Let me take you back to Sears because you know,
Oh, my God.
especially around the holidays.
That was
We
crazy.
saw a 7-layer chocolate cake on the way out the door one day. I said, "This is a hot mess. Food every
Food
corner.
every.
I mean, it's a
and that was a
compounded
big,
food.
and that was a big building.
It was
That
food
was a
on every
huge-
floor, on in every department. It was
And
food out
I would
there.
just be. I felt like Janet Jackson.
Let me
You know
give
how
me a
she in
to-go
control, she was
plate
getting
and
her
just be
food.
just getting from everybody's everything.
Yeah,
Cake,
no.
cookies pop everywhere. You see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
that's
it
a
is
rough
hard.
time for people like me who go to the gym all the time. I'm like, okay, can you get off the treadmill? Because I'm here every day.
Yeah.
You just got here. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
Or come to
You ain't
class.
Oh, that is
And-
so rude when they be staring you down because they know that you're a newbie and they be looking at you like,
come on, because you're
That
not gonna be
is-
here
that
long.
is-
I'm
that is-
sorry.
that is
I don't
rude.
stare
You know
you
what,
down, but
find
that's
you
what I
something to do.
think.
Find you
It's like
something to do.
you come in this class, you come to the front. You don't know the dance. I need you to go back there.
See,
'Cause
my
don't-
sister's
Don't
personal
come on
trainer,
the front row.
she'll yell at them and they be going to the back like, "You're not doing it right," and they'll go to the back and be looking
that's
all
how your
sad.
sister do?
Oh, my sister is a beast.
Oh, wait.
I told her, I said, I will not train with you.
His
I said,
sister is a trainer.
yeah, I told her, I said, I will not train with you. I said, because I love you and I want to stay your brother. And I think if you yell at me, I'm not going to like you. But I said, I'm the same way when it comes to choir. So, yeah, you won't sing in my choir.
Yeah,
I
you
love
do be yelling or you be doing one of Dennis' numbers. You flat. You off key. You
Well,
this.
look, singing
What's
into it
wrong
is
with
like
you?
singing into it is like being pregnant. It's either you are or you not.
Oh
Come
my
on.
gosh. Yeah, he was getting real tested with that CD stuff. Oh my
All right,
gosh.
but it worked out, didn't it?
Somebody
Yes, it
pastor
did.
There you
said
go.
that
Yes.
today and
What?
mentioned that in their sermon today. Like, don't come into the choir and you sing at home in the shower. That's different.
It's different.
I
don't
put on
don't be
Facebook.
coming to the shower into the choir and that ain't for you. He's like, you pregnant or you not?
Hello.
You can sing or you can't.
There
I
you go.
say,
I
oh.
would need
Oh,
I
God.
need every pastor to get up in your church and make that comment because you got folk in your church choir that don't need to be singing.
Oh no, you
I
did.
put on Facebook on New Year's Eve. I said, if you know you are a shower singer, stay there. Don't get in this
Well,
choir.
we don't have that kind of choir. We have a choir that's kind of open.
Most churches have that.
So our choir doesn't. We don't have to.
But here's the thing. I think what makes it hard, just very
Mhm.
quickly, is that you come in there and you think you can really sing and you can't be taught. Now, it's one thing if you can't sing and you want to be taught.
We're
Okay.
gonna leave this conversation alone because
I'm
it made
just
me think of somebody. I'm
saying.
gone. I'm
That's
done.
what it
I'm
is.
done.
I've been thought of somebody.
I just thought of
but-
somebody. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh, okay.
What-
Moving on. I'm done. I'm sorry. I
Okay,
didn't mean to get on my
vision
rant.
boards.
What
Right.
is what is a vision board?
We went to church.
I know
Sorry.
we're going to church. What is a vision board?
Sorry.
Essentially, it's whatever you want it to be, but the basic concept involves making an image and text collage for the year ahead. The idea is to combine imagery and writing that both captures your imagination and represents how you want to feel, where you want to go, what you like to achieve. Now, the thing about it is now they have online vision boards. It's wonderful. And I'm going to give you the online vision board. I wrote the name of it down so you can kind of, I thought it was really good. It's called Dream It Alive.
Is it
DreamItAlive.com.
free?
It's free, yes.
Oh, okay. Then I'm
Yes.
gonna do it.
And the beauty of it is this online vision board, it talks about 10 major areas of your life: love and romance, health and prosperity, career and life path, health and wellness, mind and soul, family, travel and adventure, creativity and hobbies, reputation or social status, and synchronicity, which is networking connections to helpful people or being at the right place at the right time. So these 10 areas probably encompass everything that you'd want to do in a vision board. Now, what's also related to the vision board is the Steve 300, and I talked about this before, and you guys didn't see anything or hear anything about the Steve 300.
You be finding the good stuff. Go ahead.
Well, the Steve 300, Steve talks so much. Anyway, I thought this was pretty positive. He says, okay, what people need to do, and what people that are powerful and successful, what they do is they write kind of a vision board by writing a list of 300 things that they want. He said he does it every year. He said when he writes the 300 things, now you got 10 areas, so sounds like a lot. But when you think about those 10 areas, it's pretty easy to write 300 things because you're writing down everything that you want. He said when you do it in January and you look at it when you pray every day, he said by the end of the year, you'll have 30 to 40% of those things answered in your favor.
Wow.
And he said this is based on scripture.
All right.
And he mentioned one scripture is you have not because you ask not.
This is true.
And I wanted to look that scripture up, and it kind of says, James 4:3 says, when you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. So it's not just you have not because you ask not, but you have to ask with the right intent.
Yeah.
Not that we can't ask for those big houses and those BMWs because
he
he
wants
is
you
our
to have
father.
that.
He
That's
wants
it.
you to have that. But he don't want me to say, well, Lord, I want to have this big car because I want to have the biggest car on the block. You know what I'm saying?
You'll have the biggest raggediest car.
Right.
Keep playing.
And then how do you say this again? Habakkuk. He also used that scripture, and that's the first scripture that I read today. And it said, because Steve said you must write it down to activate it. And that has power to it. And in the scripture, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables so he may run that reads it. In the video, Steve goes on to suggest about writing these 300 things, and he confidently asserts that if you go back to the list again, most of those 30 to 40% of those things will come true. So has anybody ever wrote a list? Because I did this one time. I did this last year, not even in January, like March, February.
Okay.
And I didn't have 300 things. I had maybe 40 or 50 things, and probably 80% of them came true. Not right away.
Of course.
Before the end of the
That
year.
course.
Well, some of them are
Yeah.
just coming to fruition now.
Wonderful.
but
Wonderful. That's still within the
Exactly.
year that you
That's
wrote it.
still coming due.
Yeah, and I would, when you pray at night, you kind of look over the list. You can modify it, add some things,
Yeah.
cross out some things once it comes true. And it's really good. Now, with the vision board, you hear about a lot of people having these vision board parties. Because I thought, I don't know how to do that. But I like the online vision board because it gives you the categories. Because when you think about those categories, it's not just health, it's not just reputation, it's not just spirituality, finances, but it's everything that you could probably think of. So what you do is you have a board like a cardboard, and you get magazines, cut out pictures, or you can have text, and you put your vision on it. And, most of us pray at night or pray sometime during the day, or you just look at that vision board all the time. It's something about the law of attraction. Once you write it down and you see it, it attracts, and it also turns on something in your brain that makes you do it, that makes you move toward it.
It sets you up.
It does.
Because I believe it really kind of sets you up for it, because I think really whenever you pray for something, the Lord already hears you before you pray for it.
Absolutely.
But one reason why it takes us a while is because we got to get set up for it. And I think things like that kind of sets you up mentally, spiritually for
So
it.
mentally, you're aiming. For instance, if I say, "Oh Lord, on my vision board, I want to lose 75 pounds." So I'm looking at this vision board, and now it's getting in my psyche, in my brain, in my mind. So when I get up, I said, "You know what? I have to exercise because I have to get close to that goal."
Right. Right.
And it does activate it, that law of
And
attraction. When
don't
you
just
write it
fall
down
off.
and when you see it and when you see it daily, it does turn on. That makes you want to do it,
Right.
Well, that's
and
a good thing.
that's powerful.
That's the thing. It gets you together.
It says vision boards help you focus on what you want all year long. There's a ton of research out there that points to the fact that writing things down and keeping them in front of you as visual reminders help you achieve your goals. Vision boards allow you to do both, just like in the financial seminar. Creating a vision board forces reflection on your part, asking you to determine what you really want and then requiring you to articulate it in some form or fashion. They even say when you ask for something from God or when you want your angels to be activated, you have to ask for that.
Yes, you
There's
do.
power in that.
Yes.
There is power. And I know people saying, "Oh, she's talking about angels and stuff."
But it's the truth. It's the truth. You gotta activate your angel now.
But you have to activate it just like you have to activate what you want. Just say Shamel. Shamel will probably say, "Well, you know what? For 2020, I want to buy a condo or I want to buy a house." So she put a house on her vision board and she looks at it and she looks at it. And then she not only attracts people who can position her to get this house, but she also makes steps to get this house. And then in December, she gonna invite us over for her Christmas party at a house. Hallelujah.
And I'll be there. I love a
I
good
wish
party.
I wish that would be in the books, but I got to get this degree first. So
Hey,
Well, then
that might be on the
that
way
would be
to the
it.
house and getting the
That
degree.
that would be one of them too, because
yeah, well,
we're not single focused. You can focus on multiple things. The
yeah.
degree is definitely part of it, and that's a given. You're getting
Right,
another
that's around
degree.
the corner.
You
I
already
was
got
gonna say
one, so you just get another one, and then and you
that's
focus on
around
the
the
other.
corner. I
No,
don't know what she's
really,
playing for.
a lot of people focus on love life.
Yeah.
I
But
could, yeah.
when they talk about prayer or when you even talking about a vision board, you got to be specific. You can't say, "Lord, give me a man," or
Right.
"I want a man to have a picture of a man." What kind of man you want?
Right. Get
You got to
you
write it down.
You know what I
because
mean?
you mess around and
You get a man.
wino.
You
Yeah.
you will get a man.
Or crying Wanda or something.
Oh,
That Wanda, we've been Wanda from good times.
oh, okay, okay.
Now somebody might want Wanda to be. I'm just saying I ain't gonna get it. I ain't gonna get in your way.
We are not going to get in your way, and I cannot believe it, but the time is already up right now. So, oh my gosh,
Already.
we have a couple shows coming up. Shamel, tell us about the show that you're going to
Oh
lead.
yes, we're gonna
All right,
have
Shimmy.
She's leading a show.
soon enough. Soon enough. Once she's so busy right now. Miss Lachey Kelly, she has her own apparel company called Juneteenth Apparel. She's gonna come on and talk about it, and I actually shared yesterday about it on my page. So if you care to see, please go on there and look and see, and please like her page because it's about us. Her
Oh,
apparel is for us,
wonderful.
which is great. So
Fubu.
she's gonna for us by us.
There you
Come
go.
on.
There you go. There
You
you go.
know,
That's it.
so she'll be coming on soon. So be looking out for that.
We'll be looking out for that, and we
Wonderful.
can't wait till you do that show. We'll be sitting back, just enjoying, and watching. I would love to have a fashion show one day, but that's neither here nor there. What about you, Ella? You got something coming down the pipe before we go?
So I'm planning a concert this year.
Okay.
I'm planning a concert of my music. So we're looking at March. So it's fastly approaching. You'll be hearing more about it very, very soon.
Okay.
All right.
So we are going to all
We can broadcast
get
live,
busy
maybe.
with
Look,
those.
that is the idea.
What
So
is it?
Wanda,
We
get
can
ready.
broadcast live or something.
We do want to be able to broadcast remotely.
Put that, write the vision, make it plain.
I
There you
better
go.
put that on my vision board.
you
I'm gonna
go.
put that to
There you
broadcast
go.
remotely. At that end, we have our other people already here, so we're gonna have to wrap it up. We'll be back here next week at 6 o'clock on Sunday. Voices of Change, Intellectual Radio. Signing off.
Good night.
Peace out.